seconds. Uh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, all right. Uh, Good morning. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Tamara. Thank you so much for coming over. We're gonna have some good discussion, good chat, very honest, very nice, warm chat for next 60 minutes or so. Let me introduce the lady on the panel first, Tamara Lane. Uh, she is a chief content writer at A-Lin. She is also chief content officer at Sustainability ROI, and she was a founding member of Dreamers Doers. She's an award-winning journalist, excellent, and a policy analyst. She produced content for HBO, AOL, E Entertainment, and MTV. She won 5 Telly Awards and People Choice Award for investigative series on human trafficking and facial recognition. She also developed long-term enterprise series for Emmy Awards-winning team. She's a public speaker and an author. She did her BA and MA from international affairs from New York School, and she was a news reporter in Fox Broadcast News. Excellent. Thank you so much, Tamara, for coming over. You have a long history of being a journalist and news reporter, reading, and a lot of other fancy stuff. We'll be talking about your past, your present, and your future in the moments to come. Thank you very much for coming over. Over to Matt. Matt is again a very extremely talented and extremely crafty person. He works as a chief development officer at Renegade Craft. He's an artist and print maker at Workspace. He did his BA in creative writing from Carnegie Mellon University. They were doing a lot of events last year. In the last year, they did about 200, 22 events, 22 events in about a bunch of cities in the US. They help you in sponsorships, and they also help you in being your partner executive in your events. Um, they are a big problem solver. They act like a brand ambassador for you, and they also do a lot of crafty stuff in their company. Matt, over to you. Tell us about a little bit more about your business and what's your why. Why are you doing what you are doing?
We are doing what we are doing. So Renegade Craft is an artist founded event, and it was founded by my wife, Susie Daly, before she was my wife. And this is an event which, I think at the time she was making jewelry, and she didn't see an event that spoke to the type of contemporary design focused work that has kind of pervaded the new contemporary craft scene. So it's in since the last 20 years about, there's been like a revitalization of craft and a revitalization, and people want to see and meet these artists and buy these things. So the event started simply as I can't find a place that speaks to me, an event that speaks to me, so I'm going to start my own event. So Renegade Craft started as a single one-day event in Chicago, and I met her when she hired me to design and print a poster for the first event, and we subsequently ended up getting married. But so I've been with the company from the beginning and has participated as an artist for years, as did she, until we realized 8 years in that running the company, and we were now in 8 different cities, and running the company and running an artist business inside the company was preventative. So we have now, since about 2012, just focused solely on growing the events. And so last year, we were supposed to produce 22 events in 12 different cities, 11 US and London, UK, and we would probably see around 300,000 people at those events. So we have, our why is to create a marketplace essentially for modern contemporary craft designers of a certain type, and we have grown the brand not just from an event company, but we've grown the brand into kind of a marketing arm. And since the advent of photo-based social media, like we've just kind of taken our curation level and taste level into a larger Instagram profile and creating a bigger online presence, which has sort of helped us pivot into digital space, which is where we are right now.
Excellent, wonderful. That's a great job that you're doing, Matt. A lot of artists, a lot of craftsmen are not able to sell, not able to make enough money, in spite of being extremely creative, in spite of being extremely authentic in what they do. You're doing a great deed by bringing all these people together and giving them a platform where they can showcase their creativity and they can make a living and lead a good life. Thank you so much for sharing your why. Uh, Tamara, tell us about your business a bit and how have been the last 10 months for you.
So Aylin is a sustainably made apparel brand that has a special sizing system. Our sizes fit 95% of body types. The founder of Aylin is a veteran in the fashion industry, and she spent years not only doing the measurements and fitting for fashion brands, but also the sourcing of apparel. And when she started Aylin, she put so much thought into where our fibers come from, our manufacturing process, as well as our footprint on the planet. And the special sauce that we created was a product that fits on the first try, that's direct to consumer. And the problem that this solves is one of the largest problems on the planet, which is fashion waste. Fashion waste, is one of the second, I think it's the second largest polluter on the planet. I don't know if many back on the rack in a store, it most of the time is either shuffled off to a landfill or it just becomes a waste product. And what we wanted to do was create something that consumers could buy and find their perfect fit on the first try. And so we call it our sizeology. And so not only is our product sustainably sourced with fibers from eucalyptus and from beechwood, but the problem that it solves with our specialty sizing system just means that it's a 360 holistic way of looking at sustainability, and the consumer can trust that when they buy something from us that they're reducing their pollution footprint. There's also, one of the problems that we're trying to solve is the last of a product. Fast fashion is a common word that people use right now. And part of that is just the quality of the product. You wear something twice, or three times, and whether or not it's stylish or fashionable, it could just be a basic tee that you're wearing, but all of a sudden it starts to come undone after 2 washes. Well, we design our products specifically to last, years. We call them iconic because they're iconic styles and they're made to last, to be in your closet for years so that you don't have to purchase over and over again these essentials that you wear every day. But you asked how the last 8 months have been. The last 8 months for a direct-to-consumer luxury apparel brand for us has definitely been tough. We really doubled down once the pandemic happened and everything shut down. We did pop-up events, we did partnerships, and so we tried to turn all of that online. And there was definitely a pivot involved in that. So we, in July, tried our first virtual pop-up on Instagram Live, where we had a shopping experience. And Matt, you've been dealing with probably the same stuff, transitioning things online. We also have been doing, all these virtual partnerships, and we're launching this month, in fact, our VIP exclusive experiences with our community. And so we've really transformed our platform to be, direct to consumer, to be actually a community-based consumer product. And so everything that we're doing, from offering styling online to these experiences online, are really just catering to the fact that even though we're in a virtual world, our shopping experience doesn't have to be a really stale, boring click and, get something in the mail in 3-5 days. That the shopping experience should still feel luxurious. It should still feel exclusive. It should still feel like when you're going in that you can ask someone, on our site, on our Instagram, hey, how would I style this for a Zoom call? How would I style this for, different events? Or you can ask those questions. And so what we've done, our founder, myself, our team, we've made ourselves available to our community 24/7. We're reaching out to everybody. And though it's been tough, it's been more time consuming. I think it's been a lot more rewarding. And I think in the long run, even though looking back, it's been a tough 8 months, we're going to look forward and say, wow, that really did transform our business and our community. Fingers crossed.
Excellent. Wonderful. Wonderful. Great story. Thank you for setting the context for discussion, right, Tamara? Coming to Matt, you were in the offline business of doing these events, and now things have changed. What are the people who are in the offline business and doing events and traveling and being up in the air all the time, and now the last 10 months, perhaps you're not doing any event. How are you utilizing this time for introspection, for innovation, for thinking about your future? What should people do in this time who have for businesses like yours?
That's a great question. And I was thinking about this earlier today when the virus came around, and we had already booked events, we had already taken application fees for all these events. We realized we had to cancel these events at least in the spring, and we were like, well, oh my goodness. So what we did, and it occurred to me that now that we never thought about kind of giving up. It was always about how can we double down on the why we were here and what we were doing, and how can we take our marketplace platform and put it online. So what we immediately did was, once we got through, the initial shock of everything, we started producing virtual events. And in April, I think, which is kind of earlier than a lot of other companies had gotten into that, we discovered that we had some basic infrastructure on our website that existed already that would make for an interesting virtual event platform, which was every time we did an event, we'd have a roster of every artist that was in that event that had a tile that you could click into that would have information about them, maybe some of their products, a link to their website. So we basically just enhanced that, and we would have these virtual events where we would have 150 artists, and each tile that you could click in, you would go in and it would be a link to their Instagram Live or their Twitch. And so they would be doing their work, or showing work, or talking about their work. And so you could go in and interact directly with 150 different artists for 2-hour periods on a Friday and a Saturday. So we were first doing that, and we did 5 of those in May, and we did 1 in June, and we did a Black Lives Matter themed event in June that was all the proceeds went to benefit Black Arts Futures Fund. And so we were bringing this sort of like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And we realized after doing 6 of these virtual events that it's not only was it not the right, it's a good way to showcase work, but it's not the right way to get people to buy stuff. It was more to get people to watch artists perform or do their work or talk about it. So we basically had our last virtual event, and then we just, we had to lose about 3/4 of our staff. And we took the remaining staff and focused directly on creating an online shop that would be an evergreen. We also rebranded the whole website, redesigned the whole website around e-commerce. So we created 2 new platforms. One, this online shop, which is supposed to feel like shopping at one of our events. And one of the benefits of coming to a Renegade Craft event is that you have hundreds and hundreds of artists that you can shop from, talk directly with, buy original products from, follow. And we have a lot of fans who come to do that. And then the other thing that we created was something we're calling our collective, which is just a bigger group, maybe people that aren't necessarily in our shop, but maybe, they're from all over the world, or we're trying to take contemporary, like design focused work that's being made by hand by people from anywhere, and showcase it. So our whole company is based on promoting this work, showcasing this work, and providing opportunities for these artists to succeed and bring their work to the forefront. So we doubled down really hard on that, and it's been a hard pivot, but what we ended up creating and what was our goal was to create something that was completely evergreen, that wouldn't be a solution just for 2020, that would be a solution that we would go forward with as our first foot forward. And now, as we are looking to 2021 and coming back to live events, this online shop and these online directives that we've developed over the last 6 months are now almost more important or more visible. It's how people see our company and how we're going to grow the company into spaces where we can't be, because not everyone lives in a city that we travel to. So it's been a really interesting, heartbreaking, inspiring pivot. It's been really like, I've run the emotional gambit all year with, ups and downs, trials and tribulations. But it's been the whole time, it's been really inspiring to be like, it was never part of our plan or never really spoken about like, let's give up or let's just take our PPP money and put our heads in the sand and come back when we can do live events. We were like, what can we do that is going to be sustainable? And so we made it, and it's pretty fun to be on the other side of it. But yeah, what a year.
Excellent, excellent. That's very touching, very inspiring. Thank you for doing that for yourself and for people around you. I think entrepreneurs like yourself are true inspiration. Never give up if something that we can learn from you, and you have truly demonstrated that. So you mentioned about setting up a couple of online shops. If I can ask you, what are the platforms that you're using to sell or to run these online shops?
So one of the other benefits we had was that we already had a small online shop as a part of our website where we would basically just sell our own merch and things like that, that people wanted to support Renegade Craft. So we had that as a basic platform. So we were able to, with a reasonably small investment, develop that into a more robust shop. I guess, I'm sorry, what was the original question?
So are you using Shopify, WordPress?
Oh yeah,
technology?
we are using WooCommerce. So we're using WooCommerce and sync software from MyWorks and else. Yeah, Bill.com, QuickBooks. So we integrated everything together, and it seems to be working pretty well so far.
Wonderful, excellent. Thank you so much for that, Matt. Tamara, coming to you again. What platform are you on?
Sorry, I was muted. So we're on Shopify.
Okay. And so you also mentioned that you are transitioning from the offline world to the online world. What are your numbers, online versus offline? Like what percentage of business comes online versus offline?
Oh, so now we've always been direct to consumer and we've always been online, but before the pandemic happened, we did a lot of pop-up events with partners, and that has all transitioned online for the time being. We've done one in-person partnership in California, but it's still, it's still very far and few between with the in-person experiences versus our online experiences are growing.
Mm-hmm. Are you also selling on Amazon?
No.
No. Why?
No, we really. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Why?
Because we really want to be a small, growing business, and we understand that everyone seems to be shopping on Amazon, but we feel that there is value outside of Amazon with a lot of small businesses, and that in order to keep our products the highest level that we want them to be, we don't want to compromise the value that we give in order to grow.
Let me ask you a counter question. Why should somebody sell on Amazon?
Why should somebody sell on Amazon? I mean, Amazon has the largest audience. They dominate right now. But I personally feel like there should be more competition out there. I feel that even though that's nice as a marketplace and that consumers can go to one spot, there should be more options. There should be more small businesses that thrive.
Are you guys funded, bootstrapped,
Bootstrapped.
profitable?
Yes, and growing.
Excellent. What's the future plan of your company in next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years?
The future plan of our company?
Yeah.
So for our company, I mean, we look to grow online. We're looking to grow our revenue, obviously, and our customer base. Also, our partnerships. We're going to be launching a new line of essentials in 2021. It's in development right now, and we're also bringing a lot of our manufacturing back to the U.S. We've been working with a manufacturer in LA, as well as doing some of our products in New York. And I don't want to give it all away, but we've been in talks to create more of a manufacturing hub in one location in the US. So our idea is to bring back the manufacturing and the quality and the ability to create these essential wardrobes here in the US.
So you are strictly like make in US. Is that the concept? You don't want to outsource a lot of people like yourself in the fashion industry are getting things done in Bangladesh or China or Vietnam or even Europe or Portugal, India. Why should somebody not do that?
Why should somebody not? I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with it when you understand your production line, you understand your supply chain 100%, right? And so like right now, for example, our supply chain, our facilities that we use abroad are CO2 neutral. We ensure that they don't pollute the water. We ensure that the dyes that we're using are non-toxic. And so if you have that understanding of your supply chain, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And in fact, a lot of times it is 100% easier to do at some of these facilities overseas. It is much harder to produce things in the US. It takes more time. It's a lot more transportation costs. And there's a lot more oversight to it. So like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just a choice that you make. I don't think that all of our manufacturing will come to the US next year or the year after, but the movement for that to us is a way to provide jobs, a way to provide a community. Again, it goes back to our philosophy about community, about jobs, and about the better quality. And so that to us is a choice. It's not better, it's not worse. It's just something that we're on a mission to do.
Excellent, wonderful. Coming to Matt. Matt, do you spend your dollars on ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, other ads?
Not right now. We are fully focused, and we will. I think in the coming year, we just launched the shop about 2.5 weeks ago, and our whole marketing strategy right now is just via our mailing list and 300,000+ social media fans and followers. But we will plan on adding some ads and things like that. But our events and our brand is a lot of word of mouth. And as Tamara said, like the community is part of our amplifier, and so much of our brand is surrounding around gathering community together and also asking them to support us as we support them. So a lot of, we implore the people that we work with, like promote your presence or promote your participation in this or in this, and have, so tell your followers about what we're doing, and we'll tell our followers about what you're doing. So there's a whole lot of grassroots movement. But back when we were just producing events, yes, we would take out ads and Google ads and Facebook ads and all of that, and we will return to that more in the future. I think right now we are just recovering from being out of business for 9 months, so it's we'll get there.
Sure, excellent. So are you seeking investment, Matt?
Not actively. We're completely bootstrapped. Everything that has come from Renegade has come from us. We have never had an investor. We are certainly open to any sort of investment scenario, but so far it hasn't presented itself. We've had interest from in the past. We've had interest from events companies, and talked to someone earlier this year from Shopify, and who maybe expressed a little bit of interest in our online work. Yeah, we're definitely open to it, but it's not something that we're actively pursuing.
Mm-hmm.
Our whole
Excellent.
company has essentially been, since the beginning, it's like everything is about kind of like this DIY aesthetic, and we were like, well, we can just do it ourselves. But we are a bigger company now, and we are a more far-reaching company now. So that something like that is definitely of interest.
Matt, what are the core values of your company?
We really value doing good work for good people. We really value bringing the kind of work that we champion to the public, and we believe in the power of handmade work and authentic interactions. And so we want to elevate talented artists. We want to bring community together. We want to create a positive work environment for our own staff. And we actually were long before COVID hit, we were a mostly remote company, and actually we went fully remote March 15th of this year. Before, we used to have a little office in Chicago, but now we don't, and that was a kind of dodging a bullet right there. We were just like, well, everyone else is going remote, but we are already remote. We want to believe in the work that we do. We work well with the people that we work with, and just be authentic. It's not about, I think that we sometimes, to a fault, maybe side on being artists ourselves. We'll side on, try to make things most fair for them. We want to just create an experience with a marketplace that is both approachable, affordable, friendly, and successful for everybody. So it's trying to consistently improve and just provide better and better service for people.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Excellent, Matt. Thank you so much for that. Tamara, are you spending your dollars on Facebook and Google and Instagram for ads?
Not right now. So we were up until about September. We had some ads running on Instagram and Facebook, and then we decided to stop doing that because the cost to play was just way too high, especially around the political season and then the holiday season. So we stopped, and we really rely and count on and trust our community. We're growing an ambassador program to spread the word, and we've also used influencers. But our dollars really go back to the product, and then our fan base grows by basically the people who buy our products, like it, and post online.
Excellent. So what is the marketing strategy of your company? How do you, so there are customers, there are clients, there are fans. Customers come and go, clients stay with little longer, and fans love you. So without marketing, how do you make your customers your fans?
Yeah, I mean, this is the journey of a startup, right? Like, how do you do that when you're bootstrapping? And so what we've really tried to craft is grassroots campaigns that what we do is we bring in people that are fans of our company, fans of our mission, and we do campaigns with them. We have our Fit for Purpose campaign, which featured a lot of purpose-driven founders talking about what they're doing and why they're wearing Aylin while doing it. And so through that, we were able to spread the word as to why we are the essentials that you need, that are versatile, stress-free, so that you can go, pursue your dreams, pursue your passions, and be confident in what you're wearing. So we had, that campaign. We've had other campaigns that we've done that really rely on real people in real situations. And through that, they spread the word. We've got influencers and founders and purpose-driven women and men wearing our products and talking about it, and that drives the conversation. And yeah, it's a challenge when you're a startup and you don't have any dollars. You have to be creative. You have to try and think outside the box. But for that customer journey, when we see that someone has bought our product, we follow up with them personally. That's how we start to grow our community and build those fans. And on Instagram, we're talking to the people who are buying, Aylin. We're chatting with them on direct messages. When people follow us through our partnership campaigns and our giveaways, we chat with them and we just say, hey, this is a human experience. We want you to wear our clothes and be confident and comfortable. And if you have any questions, we're here for you. And that's one way that we're building trust and, also educating about what our product is. So I don't think that there's any one, there's not a funnel or a flow that we're using. It's like everything that we can do to build that relationship, we're doing right now.
Excellent, wonderful. That's a great tip, Tamara. Tamara, so personally, where do you spend most of your time? What do you focus on mostly?
Email marketing right now. So we've really been building out our email database and our customers who are coming to us and how we're building that, and then cultivating how we talk with people, right? You don't want to overwhelm anyone who you're chatting with. I mean, that's a fundamental in any relationship, right? And our customers and our VIPs, they're friends of ours. And so we don't want to bombard them every day with 3 emails about this product that they should be purchasing. It's how do we enhance others' lives? And then at the same time say, hey, if you need it, here's a product that will help you be a little bit more stress-free in the morning, right? If you can get dressed and not have to think about a complicated outfit, the rest of your day is amazing. That's one of the secrets to a productive day is a simple, luxurious outfit in the morning that you feel confident in. So if we can, do that, and then as we communicate with our customers and our friends, provide them with material and with information that helps their lives and doesn't just bombard them with information, that's what we want to do. So I've been, that's a complicated thing. It's not simple. How do you both sell your product and not bombard someone, but also be a friend and create a relationship? So that's what we've been working on.
So email is one of the best ways to do marketing. Perfectly, you're bang on. Now, what's your contact list? How many emails? How many people are there in your email contact list?
About 27,000.
27,000. Now, for 27,000 people, do you know out of these 27,000 people, which customers you're about to lose? Which customers are your potential loyal customers? Which customers are your loyal customers? Which customers are your VIP customers? Which customers might never come back on your store? Are you able to do customer segmentation, and do you know which customers are in different segments?
Yeah, so we use Klaviyo right now, and we do have segmented for that, and we have our targeted flows. But we're also going back to that and figuring out how to humanize the targeting flows so that, if we are about to lose someone, I don't want them to get a generic email that just, shoots them another discount. So that's one of the conversations that we've been having and it's manpower. How do you personalize that experience when someone is like, oh, I don't know if this is right for me and hasn't engaged in a while. So that's one thing that our team is discussing right now.
Excellent. I'll touch base with you post this call because our Enalito app does that to the T. We are able to do customization and customer segmentation, product segmentation to that level where you can say which customer you're losing and what email to send and what time. Anyways, so do you also do product segmentations? Do you know which products are your loyal products? Which products make you most margin? Which products to retire from your store. How about product segmentation?
I mean, we have a very limited line. We don't have an excess of clothing. So we do know what we have, what people are looking at, our products that are selling out. We have certain sizes that are selling out that, we can't keep in stock. So we definitely keep track of that.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. What are the most important key performance indicators which you monitor in your business?
What are the most key performance indicators that we monitor? I mean, we've been focused. So over the pandemic, we've been focused on community growth. So the growth of our social media, as well as the growth of our email list, because we knew that there's a lot of hardship going on, right? We understood purchasing may not be happening right now, but community building could be. I mean, traditionally, we were looking at that conversion rate, how much do we spend in order to get a customer? We've changed our mentality on that now, which is how do we build our community, create our loyal fan base, and then that return. So it's a little bit of a pivot, and I don't have an exact answer for you right now because those are that's the switch that's happened in the last 8 months.
Cool. Exciting. That's nice. Tamara, thank you so much for that. Matt, you have also huge fan following on all social media. You have over 300K people following you and watching you, you said. So how do you reach out to them? Emails, SMS?
We have a email list that is about 65,000 people that is made up of both fans and artists who are participating or artists who would like to be participating. And our strategy for that email communication has completely changed over the last year where, as Tamara said, like we want our communications to people to be really meaningful. And previously, say last year, we would be having maybe 2 events a month, and we were really, really conscientious about not oversaturating the emails and trying to give people what they want and give them what's helpful. But all of those emails were about come out to our events or this is what event we're doing. Now it's all a lot of shopping focused emails and things like that. What we do to, we treat all of the participants of our events as influencers. So our marketing is taking someone else's amazing work and being like, look how amazing this is. And taking our curatorial, I think that one of the strengths of our brand is our curatorial eye and our ability to create an event around an aesthetic that will appeal to a modern person. And so what we do is use the content of our community and showcase how great it is. And that gets them involved with what we're doing and it gets the fans excited. And so far it has been like, I think what brings people to us is that all of our efforts are about celebrating them. And that is the key of our business. It's like our business exists to uplift these artists. And as much as we can do that in an authentic way, the better. And, it's like when they email us, we don't have a phone bank or anything like that. They're talking to us, and us is 5 people right now. So we are a small group of very, very dedicated people who are, hell bent on providing an incredible customer service for our community. So that's how we reach them. Like we speak directly to them. We are the people at the event, if there's an event, that are helping them solve their problems, and we are the people who do that. So we like to think, it's a little bit of a family culture at our company, and we treat the community as family as well.
Wonderful, excellent, Matt. Doing a great job by being authentic, and the mission that you work with is truly commendable. I'm sure you're able to sleep very peacefully in the night.
Sometimes. When my cat keeps waking me up, but I mean, otherwise I sleep all right.
Excellent. Tamara got a guest behind her. She was very cute, very lovely. You should bring her on camera.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that's my creative director. but yes, makes an appearance most of the time. That's been another experience of this pandemic, is just, the work life, and understanding kind of also what our community is going through, which is just needing comfort all the time, and needing clothes that are versatile so that you can do Zoom and also be a mom.
Yes, yes. So your family working from home now, Tamara?
Yep, we are fully remote.
So, but you were going to office before the pandemic.
So before, we had a shared space that we worked from. We worked out of a WeWork office, and we changed that. Obviously, our facility, our office is based out of New York, and we were the first hit in the US, and so we had to pivot and change what we were doing, and so our team all worked from home. Now, what's exciting is we are working from multiple countries sometimes, and we're finding ways to have our office, our working hours, and that same sort of relationship, just through engaging over Zoom, engaging over the different platforms that we have, and different workflows. So like now we're using Airtable, which we love, for project management, where before it would be some sticky notes on a whiteboard.
Excellent, wonderful. So, what advice would you give to females, especially who are juggling between a lot of roles? Now they're working from home. How are you able to do it, and what advice would you give to female entrepreneurs?
Man, shout out to all the working mamas, right? Like, this year has been tough on everyone, and definitely for moms working from home, juggling their kids, their schoolwork, and all the responsibilities that they have with their work. It's been a challenge. It's been a challenge for everybody. There isn't one mom that I've spoken to that was like, oh, this is so much easier, right? Like, it just definitely, it's a year for just buckling in and charging ahead. And so working from home, I think I would say I began in March, apologizing on the phone when my daughter would make a lot of noise. And she was 1 at the time, 1 years old. And now, just like you saw, she pops in, she pops out. You juggle, you make dinner while you're on a conference call, and you're doing craft time at the same time. It takes a lot more, I think, flexibility in how you're multitasking, how your brain actually works, because you are trying to juggle so many things at one time. And I can't wait for a vacation. And I'm so happy about this vaccine. But I just think, women are incredible. They make things work, and they keep going even when times are tough. I know men do too, but I'm just going to give a shout out to the mamas out there, because no matter what they're doing, it's been a challenging year, and they're doing it well.
Are you a feminist?
Am I a feminist? A proud one. Absolutely. And I'm going to raise a proud feminist daughter.
Wonderful, wonderful, excellent. Thank you so much for that. So you use Shopify, Tamara. Which ones are your favorite apps on Shopify?
So right now we're using a brand new app created by some female founders called Because, and I suggest everybody check it out. It's all about integrating your brand story through the checkout experience, through the shopping experience. So all the touch points that you can while going through the website, it adds little notes about your brand story. And I just think it's fantastic. I can't wait to dive into it more. It launched last month. We're part of the original cohort for it. And I find that it really does just add something about our brand throughout the entire, from the moment that you click on a product, so you want to check out, you get a little bit of our story, as opposed to going, how often do you go to a brand's about page, right? Probably not all the time. But if you do want to shop sustainably, if you want to shop with purpose, if you want to shop or even follow brands that are purpose driven, and you want to know and ensure that they're purpose driven, you should probably go to the about page. This is a different way to do that. This, you're seeing it as you go, and you can see the transparency and how the brand is operating or what their mission is.
Excellent. The name of the app is again what? Can you repeat the name?
Because.
Because. All right, that's interesting. We'll check it out as well. Uh, so, Tamara, you mentioned that you did not go for funding, you're bootstrapped. Uh, was that by design or by default?
Design.
Why
Design.
should, why
Go
did
ahead.
you do that?
So we had a thesis that was our product, the sizology that we had, we wanted to ensure that it worked. And the way that we crafted our designs, we wanted to make sure that we were hitting our target of, little to no returns. And after coming out, our proof of concept is correct. We have under 1% return rate. And really it's lower than that when you look at the exchanges. So once we saw that and we saw the reception to our product, we thought, okay, now, as we grow, we want partners to come along. We don't want to just, start out with giving our company away. We wanted to retain as much as possible. Our proof of concept works, and now we are looking for funding.
Mm-hmm. So are you now looking open for funding?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Tamara, if somebody wants to start an e-commerce business right now, what advice would you give them? What should they focus on?
My advice is that if you're going to do e-commerce, you have to have the budget for marketing. You have to have the budget for marketing. It's no longer can you start a brand and expect a social media following. The social media platforms have changed the game on that. And really in the last 3 years, it's gone from being able to create a brand that, grows on social media to pay to play on social media for anyone who's labeled a business. And so I think that that's the number one thing to think about is that you can't just, think that you're going to get exponential growth on Instagram because you're a fashion brand. You need to think about the marketing dollars that go into that.
Mm-hmm. So you got to have budget, a big budget for marketing. Product development is of course a very different story, and it needs a lot of
Especially,
yep.
I was just going to say, especially because the traditional brands now we're never going to go back to having these these mall experience, right? Like traditional brands are going online too. So now the direct to consumer brands that had kind of this niche market, it's going to be overcrowded.
Mm-hmm. Yes, interesting, of course. Matt, so there was a hard pivot from what you were doing previously to what you're doing now. Where do you see your business in the next 3 years?
The next 3 years, we are planning and hoping that the online component that we developed this year is going to be our first foot forward, whereas previously we were solely an event company. We are returning to events next year. However, the scope of things is going to be pared down quite a bit. I think we're going to start off with half as many events as we started in, and we are going to just try to, stay in the biggest cities that we can stay in and grow from there. We plan on being, fully functional as an event company, but we want the online experience and the online offerings that we have to now be the focus of where the brand is, because so much of our following is online, it is on social media, and so much of the influence that we have as a brand exists in that realm. And so I think our hope is that in the next 3 years we're going to be a online marketing brand that has events rather than an event brand that has a lot of Instagram followers.
Sit down, please. Alan, please sit down. Please sit down.
Excellent, Matt. Thank you so much for that.
Sure.
In this last round, I would ask you something about your personal life. Matt, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you going?
I think that the the return that we get from our customer, who is the artist, the return, you know, the thanks that we get, the positive stories that we get, the success stories that we get, and the support that we get for what we do. And, you know, we try to incorporate, you know, a design thinking element into everything that we do. So we do a lot of polling of our community, and we do, you know, if we make decisions in our company, we ask the staff and get everyone involved in like trying to figure out the best answer to these questions. So what keeps us going is just the positive feedback and success stories and things like that. It's, you know, I love the work we do, and it feels satisfying to provide the marketplace that we provide for the community that we provide it for. So I think that in of itself is motivating. Apart from that, I love being outside and, you know, trying to see as much of the world as I can. It's, you know, that's it, I guess.
Come here, baby. Emily. Apologies, 1 second.
No problem.
Come here.
Yes. So, Matt, that's a great thing.
Here.
So how do you handle negative feedback?
We have a long-standing kind of policy with, you know, killing them with kindness, I guess, is the philosophy we use. We try, you know, if negative feedback comes and it's something that is warranted, we'll typically admit to any wrongdoing that we've been in part of, but we, you know, could try to confront it head on in a compassionate way. We don't fortunately get a ton of negative feedback, and we work really hard to make sure that's the case, just trying to head off any problems that could arise before they do. But yeah, we take it very seriously, and we take it very much into consideration. If if it's a warranted negative comment or negative feedback, you know, we make changes to make the company better in that regard.
Excellent. Wonderful. Killing people with kindness. That's great.
Yeah, no, get it being, you know, we've learned that, you know, if you do customer service at an event where everyone, you know, your client or the customer or the artist is stressed out because they have this real life problem that is presenting itself right there, and you have to do it on, you know, right in person, it gives you that like, oh, I'm helping this person who's crying right now, and I'm helping them by doing this and this and this. So it's just really like, we've all learned, because we've all been there doing that active, like, we're taking care of you, we're in charge of this event. So we try to make everyone have a positive experience as best they can.
Excellent. Wonderful, Matt. It's very inspirational. Tamara, the last question is to you. What is your inspiration? And tell us about your journey from being a journalist in Fox News and doing content for HBO and other channels, and then moving on in the fashion industry.
Well, my inspiration is, you're probably seeing it take place. Family is my inspiration, and just making sure that we leave this world a better place environmentally and socially is a huge driver of mine, and has been a career driver of mine for my entire life and my entire career. But as you see, you know, we on this planet need to do a better job consuming and also protecting the environment. And that's part of what Aylin is doing, right? And that's why I'm so proud to be working with them, is from the concept to the delivery, everything that we do has a purpose for the environment, or a purpose for our consumer who's juggling many things. You asked about my journey from, you know, working as a journalist and producer to now working with purpose-driven brands. And I mean, the transition obviously is simple. It's from telling stories about things happening for, you know, hundreds of people as a reporter, and issues happening around the world, to then driving that to a purpose-driven brand like Aylin, like sustainability, ROI, impact. that these are, this is the story of one brand that's trying to make a difference in the world. And so doing that is extremely fulfilling because I work obviously with startups who are trying to get their voice out into the world, and there's always different dilemmas or issues that come that you have to think of, and you have to think of innovative ways to do it. And it's exciting and it's fulfilling, and you get to see the results at the end of the day.
Excellent. Wonderful. Uh, Thank you. Thank you so much, both Matt and Tamara. It was fabulous talking with you guys, understanding your journey, your values, your secret sauce. You guys were such givers, and it's such a good feeling to talk to givers. It's always feel good when you're a giver. Nobody wants to be called as a taker. You did not shy away from giving away your secrets, your strategies, your teachings, your learnings, your mistakes that you made, and what should people be doing in the industry. It was fabulous talking to you both. Uh, we will be dissecting this video out and sending you out the snippets, which you can use for marketing purposes, and and we'll tag you as well. I'll send you a LinkedIn request. Kindly accept my request, so that we can tag you appropriately. And again, I wish to thank you from the bottom of my heart for spending this 1 hour with us. And I wish you a fabulous week ahead.
Thank you so much, Amit.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care of yourself, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.